start.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry I'm held back by the traffic in JB. Didn't expect to be so late today. Normally, I'm home by 2 o'clock, but today
Don't worry,
it's
don't
quite
worry.
late.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. Our topic today is also extracted from Ganoderma issue number 95. It's on pharmacokinetic, metabolic, and stability assessment of Lingzhi. Okay, that's the topic of our today. The research that we are talking about. All right. Let's go into introduction. Okay. There has been an increasing trend towards taking dietary health supplement globally, due to increasing health awareness, improving income and lifestyle, and maybe the worry of future healthcare costs that they have to incur. Right? So, however, when we consume health supplement, we are concerned about their efficacy and whether the metabolites or the ingredients present in the supplement that we have always hear about it being scientifically proven, can it be absorbed by our body? All right. I mean, if the research may show that it's effective, but our body cannot absorb it, then it becomes useless, right? Not right. Then the other thing is also about the stability of these ingredients, or like I say, effective metabolite in the supplement after processing. Can they stay as per what the research say? And the shelf life. This will be of major concern to a consumer, a health supplement consumer, because we have to look at the potential degradation of all these supplements. Because supplements are generally derived from living organisms like herbs all that. So imagine if during processing the degradation, as a result, the metabolite cannot last. Within a certain span of time, it all become ineffective. Then, if the shelf life is say 3 months or 1 week, and we consume it in 3 months later, it become a useless product, right? So we want to be sure that the product we consume, the product that we buy, over a period of time, it's still effective. It's still there. Right? And as you know, Ganoderma or Lingzhi is a well-known medical mushroom. They have been in use in East Asia for centuries to rejuvenate our health by providing vital energy, strengthening the immune system, and anti-aging. I mean, those of you who has consumed Lingzhi, you'll find that after you take Lingzhi, you are a bit more alert, right? More energetic. Example is my in-law. My in-law always, at first, she kind of a bit of a reject take Lingzhi. But after she take already, she find, she's more alert, more energetic. So she continued to take. All right. Okay, next slide. Right. And we know that over these years that I've been presenting, research has also shown that Lingzhi has hepatoprotective, anti-hypertensive, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-cholesterol, monetary, neurotrophic, nootropic activities. All these activities are positive to Lingzhi. We know that Lingzhi help in all these kind of activity, health situation, right? Because the research has shown, right? This research has credited the multitude of pharmacological activities to the ingredients present in Lingzhi. That is the triptanoid and the polysaccharide and also the peptide, Lingzhi 8, like we always say in our flip chart. Okay, in 2022, a joint study by Muhammad Hafizah Rehman Ansari of Bioactive Natural Product Lab, School of Pharmaceutical Education and Research from Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi, India, explore the utilization and absorption of these metabolites in the bodies of animals through oral consumption, focusing on ganodermic acid H, because that's the Indian species of the Lingzhi that has more of it. So they focus on this. Okay, because he did a research on this because he find that there have been a lot of questions on what we have said earlier. People are concerned about the effectiveness of the ingredients in the components of Lingzhi and the shelf life. So therefore, he did a research on that. This research was published in the journal Metabolites, titled Pharmacokinetic, Metabolic, and Stability Assessment of Ganodermic Acid H-based triptanoid enriched fraction of Ganoderma lucidum PCAS. PCAS is a standard Ganoderma lucidum Lingzhi lah. Right. Let's just look at the study in general. Okay, they use fruiting bodies of Lingzhi and extract it with ethanol and further process to obtain triptanoid enriched fraction. Okay, like maybe I will say our G2. Our G2 has triptanoid enriched fraction. It has more than that, more than this 4 ganodermic acid our G2. Okay, this triptanoid enriched fraction of this research, they have ganodermic acid that was assessed by HPLC to have ganodermic acid A, D, N, and H, and 14 other compounds that may be possibly absorbed by the body when consumed. Okay, right. Then they use the animal, the rats, and fast them overnight. Then they fed them orally with 85 milligrams per kilo of this triptanoid enriched fraction. It's just like the Lingzhi capsule that we take You can say the Lingzhi, what the YK or the YK2 that we take, that has triptanoid enriched. Of course, YK2 has more triptanoid than YK. Right. Then, of course, in their study, they collect the blood samples at different time interval from the start, there is 0 hour and half hour, 1 hour, and all the way to 72 hours at different time interval. Then they also collect the urine at 3 times a day, right? 4 hour, 12 hour, 30 hour to further analyze. Then in the stability test, which is a separate one to talk about how stable it is over a period of time, they base their study on just one item, ganodermic acid H, right? And they incubate it in a humid and normal condition, and in a different temperature, 25 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Celsius, just like we store it at our home. In our shelf, is a cooling one, it's about 25 degrees. Unless you are talking about under the sun. If not under the sun, normally it's a body temperature 37 degrees Celsius. And then at 3 months interval, they analyze the content of it. Okay, and then they do it over 1 year. Okay, that is a study process. All right, let's look at the result. Okay, the result of the 14 components that were assessed to be possibly absorbed by the body, they find that inside the blood of the rats or the animal, they only find 10. And out of these 10 components of 10 compounds, ganodermic acid A, D, H, N, and H were among them. That means, in general, ganodermic acid has been easily absorbed. What this means is that this indicates that the oral availability of ganodermic acid A, D, N, and H. When you talk about oral bioavailability, it means that such compound can be used to make phytopharmaceutical. What is phytopharmaceutical? Phyto means plant-based. Pharmaceutical drug, that means it can be a plant-based drug, right? To be consumed orally and absorbed easily by the bloodstream. Okay, they analyze further, other than talking about this ganodermic acid being present in the blood. Then they look at it, how well it is being absorbed, the kinetic part. The kinetic part, they find that within half an hour or 1 hour after consumption, the ganodermic acid straight away reach its highest level of absorption. See, the peak plasma concentration within 1 hour. And then after that, it starts to taper off. That's why in a lot of talks, you hear a lot of diamond, they tell you, you have to, when you are in an emergency case, you every hour or every 2 hours, you take your Lingzhi. Why? You can ensure that it can reach the peak period of its concentration so that it can affect its effectiveness. All right? So you can see from the chart on the right, once you consume, straight away it's absorbed into the blood. Then after that, it slowly taper off. This ganodermic acid can be traced in the blood for the whole day. Actually, research I remember done in Thailand, Chiang Mai University. They say that after 12 hours, more or less, you can't find traces of it. Maybe that is the case. That's why you talk about half-life is only 13 hours. So that what half-life means? Result 2. Result 2. What next page? Result 2. Half-life indicate that the triptanoid enriched fraction stays in the blood for this period of time only. After that, it's no longer effective. Okay, just like the drug, when they say the half-life of the drug is so many hours, so the drug only effective for this number of hours. After that, it wane out. It won't be as effective anymore. Okay, so the effectiveness of triptanoid enriched fraction is about 13 hours. After that, it's no longer effective because you don't find it anymore. So that's why sometimes when you recommend to your consumer to take Lingzhi, it's good to take 2 times a day, or 3 times a day, or even 4 times a day, than to take once a day, right? This is the reason, because you can reach the peak period. The kinetic part shows that the effectiveness is that period. Okay. Now, although we say that it is half-life is 13 hours, after 13 hours, you don't more or less trade it. But yet, when they analyze the urine, they find that they cannot find any ganodermic acid being urinated out for 3 days, 72 hours. Actually, the research, I feel, personally, I feel, should have done another feces test to see whether it has been excreted. But of course, this research here, they did not do a feces test. They only do the urine test and the blood test. They find that the urine doesn't have. And normally in a drug, if you take a drug, after that you will be passed out. I remember one of my consumer ever commented to me that when I first introduced him Lingzhi, he take already, he find that when he pass out urine, he can smell Lingzhi. I don't know whether it's true or not, but this analysis here shows that it doesn't. Right, the Lingzhi, the urine analysis doesn't pass out in your urine. Okay, but he claims so lah. It smells urine lah. But here, the analysis of the animal shows that it doesn't detect any ganodermic acid. For your info, he take YK1 lah. Maybe it smell polysaccharide. I don't know. Okay, how it smell, I don't know. But that's what he smell. But I don't find it smell that way lah. Okay. The researcher gave a reason why the urine analysis and the blood, all that, they cannot find ganodermic acid. Reason because maybe it stays in the body longer. Although we cannot find traces of it after 13 hours or so, as you can see from the chart earlier. Or the researchers say that it probably might be metabolized by the liver and processed into something else, into other chemicals, and do it through other process. Okay? Or it can be passed out as a feces, like I said lah. That will of course have to be further analyzed. The researcher did not talk about it, but just said that it has to be further studied. It can be possibly metabolized by the liver. All right? So this in vivo analysis of the metabolism of the terpenoid enhanced fraction through oral administration show that terpenoid can be quickly absorbed into our systemic circulation or in our blood and stay in our tissue for a longer time for its pharmacological effect, like what the research has been saying. The Lingzhi is good for this, or just sound like Xintong did, the YKK are good for this. Why? It can stay longer in the body for 12-13 hours to help you to do to balance back the body. All right. So what it tells you that terpenoid enriched fraction is orally bioavailable, and it is an ideal phytopharmaceutical given that the multitude of pharmacological activities that Lingzhi is capable of. Okay? All right, that's so much about the in vivo study. Okay, next we look at the stability assessment. Next slide, stability assessment. Stability assessment here is talking about, like I said just now, whether after processing, if you visit the Shuangho factory, they will bring you through all the processes. After processing, will the Lingzhi components still be there? And whether it has been stored in our home for a period, the component is still there. That's the main concern. All right. That's why I say down here, for phytopharmaceutical development, something to become a plant-based drug, the stability of this metabolite would be a critical consideration. Remember in the introduction, I tell you, if something that only lasts for 1 week, after that no longer effective, how can it be a phytopharmaceutical product? It cannot be. It has to be something that can last longer so that it can sell. All right. So what they do like what I said just now, they study, they keep it in 3 different environments. Then after that, 3 months later, they take out and study. And they find out that, you look at the chart below, the table below, they found that the ganodermic acid was stable for up to 1 year when they saw it in different room temperature, in both humid and non-humid condition. It stay at 20 microgram per microgram per milligram. 20 microgram per milligram. You see the table below? 0 the time. You see 0, that means at the time when it was first extracted. The ganodermic acid H, they can only access one item has 22.7 microgram per milligram, plus minus 1.3 in a non-humid, and 22.6 in a humid environment. We look at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, 3 months later, it stayed about the same with a slight changes, very minimal. 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, the degradation is very minimal, 22 to 20. Right? You can show that it can be quite stable. Okay, so the table tells you that the content, of course, things, whatever it is, the longer it is, the less effective the content it is. Just like our perishable item. If you keep in the fridge, 1 day is fresh. 1 week, not so fresh. 1 month later, maybe it starts to rotten. May not be so fresh. Okay, so but as you can see here, in 1 year, it still remains about the same. Very minor fluctuation. Okay. Okay, so in conclusion, what this study talks about, conclusion, this study gave us a clue to the quality, the safety, and efficacy of ganodermic acid H of terpenoid enhanced fraction for a longer duration of action. Right? It can stay in our body for about a day or 12 hours, and we can stabilize for 1 year. The concern for the metabolite may change due to production processes and the processes of digestion. Imagine now when we eat, our saliva will digest it, our stomach acid will change it. Does it change all these components? From this example here, this test here, it doesn't. Our blood absorb it, and they can still find it in our blood. So it is there. The effective component is still present as what the research has been saying about effective component that has pharmacological effectiveness. All right? This shows that Lingzhi can be rapidly absorbed into our circulatory system and can be easily metabolized by our body. Therefore, the efficacy of Lingzhi extract to be used as a phytopharmaceutical product is definitely unquestionable. Okay, and it can be said that the efficacy of Lingzhi extract is basically related to the content of the extract itself. That means we have said that the content, we always say that we have the terpenoid, the polysaccharide, all that in our product. So in our product, it has its effectiveness. Okay, with that I end my sharing. Thank you very much.